Noodles, welcome to Radioacktiva, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm doing good this morning.
A little time before the last time we talked, it was in Festival Stereo Picnic. You guys did an awesome show here last year.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. We always have a blast whenever we're there, and so yeah, we're stoked to be coming back.
It was funny. I wasn't on stage. I was in a broadcasting point when you guys started playing, and I
Okay.
remember you start playing "Keep 'Em Separated," and just when the drums go boom, I remember the floor. I remember the earth. And so I just started rushing to get to the show because I needed to finish an interview. It was awesome. I can't wait to see you guys on the upcoming show in Movistar Arena.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I can't believe we're coming back already, but we love it there. The fans are the craziest anywhere in the world there. So yeah, we're excited.
We never talked about Supercharged, your latest record. Been little time since Let the Bad Times Roll, so I wasn't expecting for the band to come up with a new record so soon. When was this whole album written and prepared to become a record?
Really, right after the last record. Yeah, I know we took so long making Let the Bad Times Roll. We didn't want to wait 9 years again in between records. So we were really kind of hit a creative period right as we were making that record, really towards the end of making that record. And so we just kind of kept it going. I think like Hanging by a Thread was actually kind of a song that we held back from the last record. Everything else was kind of written right after that, and we just been kind of working, whenever we get home, whenever we're home for a while, we'll get together with Bob Rock, our producer, and work on new stuff. In fact, Dexter was just working with him the last couple of days up in Vancouver, yeah, Vancouver.
I
So yeah, I hope I answered your question. Sorry.
don't worry, man. Feel free to talk
Yeah.
as much as you want. How does a song like "Come to Brazil" ends up in the record? Because of course we usually think, the Offspring punk, and I know you guys done reggae and little things on all of the records, but it is so different that I wanted to ask you about it because so far I love it, but it's like the most hardcore song you've done in years, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're talking about Come to Brazil? So, yeah, that's probably the biggest. We always experiment with some kind of different music on any record. That's probably the biggest, difference, on this record because it's like thrash metal. We used, Bob had one of James Hetfield's guitars that James had actually given to Bob, and we used that extensively on that. All the rhythms and stuff, the fast, chunky rhythms. That's all that guitar. I think for the solo, I think I used. I can't remember which guitar I actually used for the solo on that. But yeah, it's a very different song for us. It was a lot of fun, when you're writing a song for Brazil. I mean, really anywhere in South America, you got to kind of have the heavy rock riffs, right? You got to have that, and then of course the soccer chant at the end is just the cherry on top.
Of course. And in that order, like, do you still think of the Offspring like a punk rock or a punk band? Because again, you've experienced with a lot of different things through the years. So I
Right.
kind of wanted to ask you about that.
I think we're primarily a punk band, but I don't think we're just a punk band. Um, if you look at songs like on the new record, Fall Guy, Lightning Rod, Hanging by a Thread, there's a few songs on here that are definitely just punk rock songs. Then there's some poppy punk songs, Make It All Right or Okay, but This Is the Last Time, or super poppy, poppy punk songs. Then there's Get Some and Come to Brazil, which are friggin' just riff rock, right? Just heavy riff rock. Um, so I don't think we've ever just been one thing or another. Punk rock is where we came from. It's where it's where our first love of music really lies. But or well, even before that, like I know Dexter and I both love Simon and Garfunkel. Like folk music. The
Uh,
harmonies from what our dads listened to. Um, so we do love punk rock, and that's kind of where we find our home. But I think we've got a lot more going than just punk rock.
Of course, absolutely. I wanted to know from your perspective because every time I find different things on every Offspring records, and in the last two, Let the Bad Times Roll, we actually had an interview about that record, and we end up talking about the opioid crisis. I remember there's a song that talks about it in the lyrics, but this record is it's more fun. As far as I could understand, uh, uh, the lyrics that I had the chance to just sit down and try to analyze. So how does it work when it comes to getting to the studio? Like, what's the state of mind when it comes to doing a new Offspring record?
Gosh, we kind of find ourselves where we find ourselves. We are, we don't really think, okay, with this record we want to be more upbeat, or with this record we want to be darker. We don't really think along those lines. We kind of come in and Dexter will have a guitar riff, or he'll have a melody in his head, or a drum beat. Sometimes he'll have all of that already in his head, and then he tries to figure out how to make it become real, by recording it. And then we all kind of come in, we have our ideas, I'll throw in guitar parts and stuff like that. The lyrics always happen last, usually always happen last. Um, the one song that's different, where the lyrics came first, was Come to Brazil. That's the first time Dexter's ever written a song where that's what it's going to be, Come to Brazil. It's, and then build around that. So I think we just found ourselves, we got through the pandemic, we got through Let the Bad Times Roll. Things haven't gotten any better in the world. Shit is still fucked up. But I think coming through the pandemic and feeling a little stronger about it at the end, I think we had a little bit of an upbeat attitude with songs on this, and wanted to focus a little bit more on that. Certainly like Okay, But This Is the Last Time, or Make It All Right, or upbeat songs about people in your life that make your life better, even if they're a little tough around the edges. It's still a good, overwhelmingly a positive thing.
Was this the first record with Brandon as the drummer of the Offspring on studio?
Yeah, and he played, I think, on about half of the record, because Josh was still with us when we first started recording this. But Brandon's great. He's just as he can come in and do pretty much everything Josh ever could do. They're both really really great studio musicians, as well as great live musicians.
Oh no, he's awesome. The guy's a
Yeah.
beast.
Oh, Brandon's, yeah, fucking phenomenal. Yeah, he
He's
really
great.
is incredible. Really, really just solid, decent human being too. Just nice, down to earth guy. Married, family guy. Doesn't fuck around. He's a good guy.
I had to ask you, how was it like letting Josh go for the Foo Fighters?
Well, I mean, what are we going to tell him? No. um, I mean, Josh has a tendency to. I don't know if Josh is ever happy in any one thing, right? Even the Vandals that he loves, or Devo, that he loves. I don't think he'd ever be happy just doing any one thing. So I think when he started working with us, we knew that, our time might be limited. We weren't sure. He's a good friend of ours. We love Josh to death. So we were stoked to see him join one of the biggest bands in the world.
Well, I wanted to ask you about looking out for number one, because I get this impression that every once in a while there comes an Offspring song that has a second voice, but like a deep voice, like looking out for number one. And it
Right, right.
happens in Original Prankster, or Welcome to Americana, or even The Voice in Time to Relax. Is there a story there that you guys start like to use that resource every once in a while in songs?
I think the aim is just to be dynamic, have different voices throughout. Same with the girl's voice in, well, Pretty Fly. The girls in Pretty Fly, Give It to Me, Baby. It was very high and up there. The girls kind of uh, low affect vocals at the beginning of Make It All Right. Same kind of thing, just to have a different voice.
No, cool. I love okay, but this is the last time. I actually like to the video. It's so in a certain way it's hopeful. Like just, keep trying. She's gonna give you a pass with
Right.
that and let you try again. And you should learn about that.
Yeah.
Uh, I I don't know if it's just my impression, but it's interesting that for this record, Supercharged, the first two singles so far, the ones we've heard here in Colombia before the album was released, are love songs because the other one is Make It All Right.
Right. Yeah.
Was there a motive that you decided, or just because they're great songs?
We just started with the riff and the melody. I think Dexter started with that melody in his head, and then built the rhythms, underneath it, and then realized these are pretty poppy songs. So what can I do? But he didn't want it just to be, flat out love and flowers. So he's writing about kind of real relationships, because real relationships are hard, and they like, they'll be rough around the edges. So Make It All Right is about somebody that loves you, but they're going to punch you in the arm to show it, right? They're going to flip you off and tell you to get your shit together, right? They're just going to, it's not all hugs and kisses. And okay, but the last time is the same kind of thing. You really are willing to put the work in to make a relationship work, because it's not always easy.
It's like, it's like both songs offering an advice on love, but from different perspectives. You got to learn in one, and there's the other view on the other track, which I love
Yeah.
that. Having I love punk rock song in this time and age is something we need.
Thank you. Yeah, and I agree. We need punk rock now more than we have probably in my whole lifetime.
Thank you very much, man. Have a very nice day. Congratulations on a great record. Supercharged was on our top
Thank
2024
you.
records in Radioacktiva. It's always refreshing to hear your guitar riffs, so I love it.
Thank
And
you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we had a
and,
lot of fun on this one.
and looking forward to see you in Movistar Arena this year in Colombia once again.
Can't wait.
Once again, thank you very much.
Right on,
Have a
man.
very nice
Yep.
day. Bye bye.
Thank you, Julio. Yep. We'll see you soon.